not gonna start this video with my usual hello because this is a serious matter, and instead I'll opt for a hi. This is Null of the YouTube game. It's a serious video, but it's not a serious video. It's gonna be all over the place, and might be a little quiet in places because I'm just I don't know, I'm just kind of here. Basically, the gist of it, as you can see by the title, which is there for reading purposes and clarity of what the video is about. The title, it says last goodbye, and if it doesn't say last goodbye, I'm not gonna do this take, or last minute, I decided not to make a reference. But for real though, this is probably gonna be the last YouTube video that I make, for all intents and purposes. Could be the last YouTube I make for a Could be the last large multi-million website that I make gets acquired by Google. For a while. No, this could be the last YouTube video I make for a while. It's probably going to be the last one, so I'm just gonna call it as such until further notice. As to why, I'll get into that in the middle of this video, because cliffhangers, you know, everybody likes those. No one likes to, you know, get straight into things. But I did think about this for a while, at least the structuring of this, and it's important that I answer some questions before that, I think. I'll make this a fact of sorts that no one has asked yet, but in case people take interest in this, and they're wondering, well, what's going on? What will you do this, about that, and this thing? I'm just gonna answer a couple of questions that I thought might be common, and after that, if you guys have any more questions that don't get answered that you do want to know for whatever reason, just shoot them at me at some point, and I'll answer them back. But the first thing that I have on my list here of lists, what about all the things you've started / mentioned, like YouTube game playback, YTG playback for short, game analysis, pending let's plays, other projects you haven't finished that you want to get out, etc. Well, by the time this video gets out, it's either going to be at the end of all of it, or it's just going to be announcing that there's going to be an end. I'm not sure yet, but speaking strictly of at this moment, where things haven't been all put up yet. As far as YTG playback, I fully intended that to be a series. The first one did very well, considering the size of the channel. I'm very happy about that. Very happy with that. I did intend that to be a series, and I mean, I was up for making more of it at some point. You know, when I learned more, or if I had some other hearkening lesson. Hearkening's not the word. I'm not gonna think of the word right now because I'd be here for a while, but if I thought any lessons that harkened back, there we go, to something that I was stuck on, or something that just stuck out to me, you know. But yeah, that was gonna happen eventually for a series, but seeing as this has happened, well, it's probably not going to continue. But the first episode that aired, I guess you could say, that turned out well, and I'm happy about that. Game analysis, that was also intended to be a series, but it was gonna be a regular monthly thing, and I've had like 6 ideas already for some videos to make about that. You know, I have ideas that I still want to get out, and they're probably not gonna get out. If any of those ideas existed in the first place, not just game analysis, but anything that I've started and I haven't finished, you're seeing it right now in the background, or you should be, as far as like the video. You're not gonna hear the audio because that would be counterintuitive. But game analysis, I have ideas for that. It's not going to come to fruition, obviously, now, but I did have plans for that, and I'm sorry that I never got to show you guys that, if you were interested in the little mention that I made of it. But that's the fate of game analysis. As far as pending Let's Plays, I had ideas for other upcoming games that I want to play, that I want to show you guys, namely AM2R, another Metroid 2 remake. That game, it's just a lot of fun, and especially if you're a Metroid fan. If you're not a Metroid fan, try it, which you probably can't now, not easily anyways. That's something else I want to talk about at some point too. Undertale I wasn't gonna play through, but you're hearing some music from that right now because I just like it a lot, the music anyways. The game I'm a little more opinionated about, but this video is not to talk about that. That was something I would have talked about. there was a Pokemon game, the Pokemon Fusion Generation, that I want to play. Probably not on this channel, on a different channel that I was going to make, but as far as pending Let's Plays, those are like the 3 main things that I can think of. AM2R is going to be started very soon, considering the release, and Turnabout Substitution is probably ended by now, or it's going to end in the next episode. So I was getting ready to do that because I like Metroid, but as far as Let's Plays, I'm only finishing Turnabout Substitution. Anything that I would have had in the works, I would have finished. But Turnabout Substitution wrapped up nicely, and that's all edited and everything now, if it's not uploaded anyways. That's all finished. But if I had anything that wasn't finished, I was going to finish it, considering that it was started already. And I guess other topics that I would have talked about, I just, if it's not started now, it's not going to get started, and if it's not started, it's not going to get finished. Anything that has been started is going to get finished. There is one thing that is going to be uploaded after Turnabout Substitution. That is that thing I do with my friend a while back that I mentioned. The whole null void thing. That's going to make a 3-episode appearance because this was way back in, I think, March or April. Long story short, he was away for a while doing military stuff because he's a cool guy and he serves our country, which is great of him. And he came back on vacation, I think. I'm not sure what it's called, for a bit, and we just did something together because he is the guy I play video games with, so it just seemed fitting. And I think it turned out fine. I gotta do some audio work on that, but that is the only other thing that hasn't been started that will get started and finished because we did that together, and it's only 3 episodes, but it'll have some unique stuff in it too, so I guess if you guys are still around by the time this video comes up, and that hasn't been out yet, then I hope you guys enjoy that. Next question. Spent way too long on that one. Will you be coming back? As I started in the whole intro thing, probably not. This is, for all intents and purposes, this is the end of it. I would like to come back at some point. I can say that much, but it's not really up to me at this point. I'll explain more on that later. But, do you like doing YouTube? Me personally, I really do enjoy this. I have stated since the get-go that this is always going to be a hobby, and I gotta tell you, it was always gonna stay that way. But in the same respect, it couldn't stay that way if I wanted to do it, I guess is the best way to really point that out. But I don't have the time to really like give it a good polish and stuff, because can't like spend time on that and then not on other things that are important too, because it takes a lot of work. You know, I just do mainly Let's Plays, but I was planning to do other things, and even some Let's Plays, you know, just getting all the assets together and stuff like that, because I could just put the whole video up there without any borders, you know, without any fancy, oh, click this if you want to go to the next video, or, you know, oh, this commentary is on or off, or, you know, anything like that. But it just wouldn't suit me, you know, it wouldn't feel right to me if I did that. And I really liked having the layouts. I really liked designing the layouts and stuff like that. That's one of the parts I really did enjoy. I've always wanted to incorporate something like that I put together in some form of media. And it seemed like YouTube is the right fit for that. Not that I necessarily have so much experience where I can be like, hey, this is great and you should watch it, but I can at least make something that I enjoy and that I can show people and hope that they enjoy as well because I enjoy it. You know, and hopefully they enjoy it because they enjoy it after the fact. But as far as the next question goes, kind of said a little bit in the last one. Are you going to polish any of the videos on your channel? Now, this seems like it'd be a great idea in theory, but as far as the motif for the YouTube game is about making progress, because it's a game, after all. You know, I've said it before, as far as like the whole YouTube game thing, what that is. Basically, it's a documentary of sorts. as well. And if I'm going to document my progress, it wouldn't make sense for me to go back and change something. Now, that's not to say some things couldn't be changed or maybe need to be changed. You know, for instance, I can upload custom thumbnails now. You know, I mean, if I was going to make my channel like a time capsule of sorts, I could go back and just upload custom thumbnails, you know, make different custom thumbnails, but like, that's not how this works. That's not how I envision the channel to really go, the direction of it anyways. And as much as I'd like to do some of them, I'm not gonna, because that just wouldn't fit the channel. You know, I think it's a great idea and a great learning piece to go back and look at the very first episode of Super Mario World that I did. My voice was droning. It's still kind of droning, but I feel more comfortable speaking in front of the microphone, so I can talk to you guys in various tones, and I don't know, my personality shines through a little bit more, I guess. And, you know, as far as this video goes, it's not my most creative piece, right? But if you were to watch this, and then you go back and watch Super Mario World Episode 1, you'd be like, wow, I don't know how this guy made it to where he did. Even though it's a small part that I'm at right now. It's bigger now than it was then, and that's the point. You know, so I just polish the things that I've made already as far as the motif goes, no. And if you guys have any more questions, for some reason, if you're interested, you can go ahead and ask those in the comments. You can shoot them at me somehow, message them to me or something. Not gonna be off of YouTube, just not gonna be making YouTube videos, I guess. And thus concludes that. Now, the why. Now, as for the why, a lot of people don't really, that's not a good way to put it. I guess, a better way to put it would be a lot of people, it's hard for some people, I would say a lot of people, concerning where we are today in the world and events and whatnot. I'd say it's hard for a lot of people to talk about, like, religion and stuff, and I guess that's the main reason for me leaving YouTube, not doing YouTube videos, not making them, and it's a very broad term, religion. It's not like, oh, I just suddenly became religious and then, bam, for some reason I thought I should stop doing YouTube, but, just to broach the subject and ease into it a little better. If you're worried about this getting preachy, well, you should be worried, because it probably is. I don't think you should just go because of that. But teach your own, I guess, do what you want. But to explain about why I'm leaving, you know, ever since I started YouTube, or at least making videos for YouTube, I've always thought, am I going to spend too much time doing this? And to some people, you know, excuse me, to some people, if it's like a hobby or a passion you've got, it's not really, I guess there wouldn't be a too much time kind of deal. Like, obviously, like, if you're spending so much time in something where it's the only thing you do, you know, you don't gotta try to be social to people, you know, talk to your family, or, you know, just neglect other areas of your life, you know. But concerning, first and foremost, like, I'm a Christian, alright, I'm a born-again Christian. I'm not just like, oh, I go to church, and because I go to church, I'm a Christian, but it's more like, I was saved when I was like 8. I accepted Jesus Christ as my Savior, and, that has a lot of weight in it. But to simplify things, basically, my life ever since then was different. Not that I necessarily could discern it, but, right now, like, I've just recently been praying about it more and thinking about it more as to how I'm spending my time. And it's not just with YouTube, mind you, it's in all areas of my life. I work a job, obviously, you guys, I think you guys know that. I work from 10 to 2, Monday through Saturday, and on Wednesdays I work from 10 to 6. It's not always cut and dry, sometimes I work a little later, but it's part-time, it's not terrible, but it still leaves you with less time than you'd like to have, you know, but you gotta work to eat, gotta work to pay bills and stuff like that. Not quite a fully functioning adult yet, but I'm getting there. But for reference, you know, that's the hours I work and whatnot, and I go to church on Sunday, you know, and I do things after church that involve other people, I guess. And in the midst of it, you know, I'm also trying to socialize with friends and whatnot, and kind of make sure I keep up my relationships with my family and stuff. And the thing of it is, this is not, my situation is not unique, obviously. Like, everybody does this, you know. Everybody has these kind of things that go on in life, obviously, and I'm just at a point myself where I'm starting to weigh things, I guess, and trying to balance them out. And I've been trying to find a good balance between doing YouTube and other stuff. But as far as my relationship with God goes, and going back to the Christian thing, it's not just going to church, but being a Christian means you have a relationship with God, because Jesus saved you through grace and whatnot. He died on the cross. You know, as far as my relationship with God goes, you know, I've really been trying to work on that. And doing YouTube hasn't, I mean, it's hindered it in the sense that I haven't been spending as much time as I'd like to in that area. But it's just at the point where I can see this taking over more of my life than I'd like it to, even though I enjoy doing it, even though it's not inherently a bad thing. You know, there's nothing written in the Bible about thou shalt not make a YouTube channel. You know, there's nothing about that. But there is something about idol worship and, you know, I guess spending your time as you should, being a good steward. And I never really thought about it in the terms of time, but being a good steward is mostly thought of as making sure you handle your assets properly as far as like financial stuff. But I'm honestly beginning to see that it takes up more than just a financial realm, and it goes into a lot of the things you do in life, namely how you spend your time. And I use that word purposefully, spend your time. You know, this doesn't just encompass, you know, being a Christian, obviously. It's a good thing to learn from it, I think. But, you know, whoever you are, whatever you do, you know, are you spending your time wisely? And if you're a kid, it doesn't have much meaning. I'll just say that. For my friends who are younger that are watching this, you know, I don't know if you've thought about your future. If you have, great. If not, don't worry about it till you have to, which might come in a couple of years. It depends on your age, obviously. But as a kid, enjoy your freedom, I guess. And you might not think it's freedom, but it is. Enjoy your freedom from responsibilities and such. But as far as spending your time, that concept is not quite there yet for if you're younger. And even right now, I'm 21 years old. I'm still learning this concept. It's still a hard concept for me. I'm not sure it's ever going to be solved completely, but the best thing you can do in these kind of situations, just keep going at it. And as far as spending my time wisely, it would seem that YouTube is not one of those things. I'm at a pivotal point in my life where I have to make a couple of decisions that are important. Back to like the being a Christian thing, you know, I feel like God is calling me to do some things in my life that I need to take a step of faith in, that I need to trust in Him for, that don't necessarily seem logical at first, at least not to my mind. But there are some things I have to do in my life right now that are just, I haven't explained those, by the way. Some things I have to do in my life that require more time, focus, and attention than I'm currently giving the situations. And in order to give those situations the appropriate time that I need to give them, the appropriate thought, I need to stop making YouTube videos, because it's a lot of planning. I've talked about this a little bit, but it's a lot of work if you're trying to really go for it. And again, I was just trying to make it a hobby, but I came to the realization that you just can't have it. You have to have time to do it, I guess, is the best way to put it. And the people who have a job in this, I'll call it an industry very loosely for now. I'm not trying to specifically pick a word, but in this industry, I guess you could say, if it's their job, then they can spend all day doing it. You know, it makes sense for them to, because it's their job. You know, but because I work a job, and this is just for my enjoyment, you know, it doesn't make sense for me to spend more time on it than I should, I guess is what I'm trying to get across. And in light of God's word, you know, in light of my relationship with God, you know, it doesn't make sense for me to spend my time doing this. At least not for now, anyways. Maybe when I get things balanced out, but for now, this is the end of it. It doesn't make sense for me to be spending time in this, unless time working on my relationship with God, or, you know, spending time with God, or even the Word, or things like that. And, you know, if you're not religious, I don't know if you're gonna understand this. I don't know how to explain it better, I guess. Not trying to down you or anything. But this is just where I'm at. And, I guess to wrap it all up, the reason why I'm not making YouTube videos anymore, I'm making a conscious decision to stop doing that, is because I don't think I'm spending my time wisely in this. I believe that through prayer and whatnot, God has asked me to submit it to Him. And being a good steward, at least trying to be, you know, finances is not an area that I know very well. I know other areas in the Word of God a lot better than finances, and as far as finances go, and again, it encompasses more than that, but being a good steward in finances and whatnot, I think I just need to submit these things to the Lord and let Him deal with that, and know what to do with what I have. And as far as being a good steward, that takes steps, you know. If someone gives you $1 to go invest somewhere, you know, if you go spend it on candy, which I'm liable to do. I just went out to a store for about 10 minutes just to get some Mike and Ike's. I went to get Good and Plenty's, but they didn't have Good and Plenty's. Can you believe that? So if someone gives you $1 to go spend and invest wisely, and you go buy candy, you wouldn't expect them, at least I hope you wouldn't, you wouldn't expect them to give you $10 the next time to go and spend, I guess, spend and invest in something worthwhile, you know, and they sure as heck aren't going to give you anything bigger until you're proven trustworthy, you know, reliable with that $1. And this is just an example, obviously, but it's not, you know, it's I think it's relatable. So I'm trying to be a good steward in that I need to submit this to God and doing what I need to do with it. It's a small channel, but, you know, I think if any of you get anything out of this, I'm happy about that. And if you get mad at me for this, whatever, for getting all preachy, whatever, that's okay too. I hope you guys understand about it. If you don't, can't do anything about that. I'm not gonna do anything about that. I'm not gonna try to console you or anything. I'm not gonna argue back or anything like that. But I'm just trying to be a good steward with it and submit my life to God, and trying to learn more about God and more about the things of God, so that I can be, I guess, a light to the world. It's not a far-fetched thing at this point. You know, if you don't think you can have influence, don't doubt yourself about that, because you have a sphere of influence you can't even see, and it's really crazy, the things that can happen if you, I guess, shine as a light in the world. So, yeah, being a good steward and whatnot. If there's any takeaway for you guys for this, I would say it's probably, just analyze where you're spending your time and why. You know, where your treasure is, there is where your heart is also. So be careful about that, and treasure the right things. Not just to do the right thing or, you know, be goody-goody, but it's for your, for the sake of your own life. You know, if you think I'm taking it too seriously, I don't think you're taking it seriously enough. But I think I have said enough there. If I could, I would talk forever about this kind of subject, and I'm not kidding about that. I really do enjoy this kind of thing, talking about that, and as far as where my passion in life lies, it is with God, for sure. I like doing YouTube, and if I could make a living off of it, sure, but if I could glorify God while doing it, that's the thing. And at this point, you know, making gaming videos, as much as I really do enjoy that, I just don't think it's something I can continue doing, and, you know, follow the path that I'm trying to follow now, which, again, if for some reason you get the message from me that, like, oh, am I doing something that's sinful or wrong or whatever, how dare you, well, that's not what I'm trying to say, you know. Again, me doing YouTube videos, making them is not inherently sinful. There's nothing, like, inherently wrong with that. It's just about spending your time. And, I'm just trying to follow the right path on that and, spend my time wisely, so. With all that said, there is still one more thing I'd like to talk about, in this video, which, if you're still watching, thank you. By the way, it's a shout out to you. But speaking of shout outs, that poorly segmented segue, is leading to, I want to thank some people, because I haven't had an opportunity to thank them, or, I have thanked them, but, it's just fitting in a video like this. So, the first shout out that I'd like to make, let me look at my list. Overlord99, this guy, can't say this guy enough. I mean, I can't say thank you enough. This guy is just a really swell guy in general. Talked with him a lot, and he's just a really cool dude. You know, just genuinely nice, which you don't see a lot. As for what he does on YouTube, he makes some really nice remixes. Yeah, the remixes in Famatracker. They're 8-bit remixes of popular songs that either he likes or that are just popular or whatever. And if they're not necessarily popular, he just does them because he likes them. But they do turn out well when he does them. I enjoy his work a lot, and I encourage you to go over to his channel. I will link this somewhere. All of these will have links somewhere. I should have mentioned that. All of these will have links somewhere, and I will link to Overlord99's channel. Would say your name, but privacy and all that I'm not sure about. But yeah, this guy's just been really good to me in general. And I haven't had a chance to say thank you on a YouTube video yet, so I figured you should get first dibs. So yeah, check out his stuff. Second on my list, Handinabag. I've thanked you already plenty of times, but I'm here to say it again. Final shebang. This guy is also a very nice guy. He's a good YouTuber. You should check out his YouTube videos on, I shouldn't say they're necessarily on a specific thing, but he has a show called The Master Hand Show, which is a review show. It's not akin to what you're used to watching. I will say that much. And it's not a bad thing when I say that either, because he has a unique style that I don't think I've seen. No, I don't think I've really seen it much anywhere else, and it's interesting the way he does it. I would encourage you to check out his videos as well. I'll link to some of my favorites somewhere. I'll do 2 favorites, that way I don't have 5 gazillion links. I'll link to his channel somewhere, because, you know, I didn't just say that already. Oops. There will be links to all of these people somewhere. Handinabag. You go, guy. Thank you for the collaborations that we did together. The 2 of them. But they were good anyways. Thank you for that. And the next one in my list, Subby. Thank you for commenting on my videos. Those couple of times. That's not very specific, I'm sorry, but I just figured, you know, what the heck. Just to give you a shout out there. I'm not sure what kind of videos Subby makes, but go check them out regardless. Yeah. Thank you, Subby. And for everybody else that commented, thank you. If I didn't mention you personally, don't take offense. I'm not thinking badly of any of you. It's just I didn't think this out too much past those guys. Let me reposition myself in my chair after that weird laugh. And last but not least, I'm not gonna use his name here, but I'm gonna show him this video, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, thanks." Void, in that one series that doesn't exist yet. It's that three-part series I talked about earlier in this video. It's a Super Mario World hack thing. If it's not already out, if it is already out, it's that thing. Void, thank you for the fun time that we had. doing that. Thank you for being my friend all the way through and all that good junk. Yeah. You know, you're just a good friend of mine, and you helped me through some stuff quite a bit of times. And just fun to hang with, fun to play video games with, and stuff like that. And yeah, so I'll tell a little story, actually, because you guys don't know him. So it'll make more sense, or at least be more enjoyable for you guys as well. The very first day that I met this guy, I think it was 8th grade. I just moved to the city that I live in now, in 7th grade, and so 7th grade was great. Then in 8th grade, I finally got to sit in the back of the bus by myself on that one-seater. I felt so happy. It wasn't because I was elected. It wasn't because I earned it. It was because the one kid that sat there got in trouble, and I couldn't be happier. I sat there, and I enjoyed my reign for about, I don't know, I think it was a couple of months, because it was probably near the end of the 7th grade. And then somebody moved to my town, not too far down the road. I could walk there easily, about 15, 20 minutes. And unbeknownst to me, of course, I didn't realize he moved down there. So I sat in the bus like I normally did. No, I didn't get to the bus yet. No, he was before. Okay, so I get on the bus, and I look in the back of the seat, and I see this kid sitting there. I'm like, who the heck is that? And so I get back there, and the very first thing I say, right in front of him, I was yelling up to the bus driver, am I sitting in this seat? Do I have to sit with this guy? And she's like, yep. I'm like, okay. This kid is bigger than me. Alright, he's not fat, but he's bigger than me. And I'm just like, I want my seat back. I didn't tell him that, but I'm sure he understood that. We talked, and I guess we became friends. Weird how that works. But yeah, that is my friend Void. Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed that story. But I really don't have anything else to say. All I've said has really been said. You know, as far as this being my last YouTube video, I didn't expect it to be some super creative spectacle. I didn't expect it to be some super short and watchable thing necessarily, but I needed to get my voice out there and say some things I need to say. So, as far as why I'm leaving YouTube, good stewardship, I guess. Hopefully you didn't just skip to the end of the video and see that and be like, what is he talking about? So yeah, good stewardship, and for the shoutouts, thank you to all of you. I hope that you guys do well in life and whatnot. This isn't necessarily goodbye to you, just, you know, just wanted to say that. Well, I could, I guess. So yeah, I can't say I'll see you guys next time. It's bittersweet, but you guys have a good life. I'm out.